Hello everyone. Today I am explaining about my project. I created my project with using technologies JavaScript, HTML and CSS. Let's go to the UI section. Okay. So this is my UI where we I select one mode. That are mode also ask me anything. Quick summarizer, idea, spark, definition finder. That are mode. That are mode also. Okay. So when I click one mode, it will be the select on that mode, and whatever I want to give your input, it will give the from that input. So let's go to the uh, show our input. So I will just here type something. For example, I'm typing here what is JavaScript. Okay, so I write here it will first call the API key. So guys, API key means full name is API key, application programming interface. This is the full name of API. Okay, so the API key means what is API key means one of the most powerful communicator secret key where we use for the different software to communicate that will use. Okay, so the API is uh, it is a collection of long character in a string way. We can store that on a one variable. It will have a format string. Okay, so that is API key. So let's go to the our output. So I want to generate that from input. I want to output. So I will click generate button. It will give the output because of API key. API key how will work. Okay, so there is that is given something. JavaScript often abbreviated as JavaScript as a popular programming language that is primarily used to make website interactive and dynamic. Okay, while HTML build the structure of website and CSS make it look pretty, JavaScript give a website behavior and life. Okay, so just ask next question. Okay, so I'm asking what is const. Okay, I'm now ask what is const. It is ECMAScript 6 version. Okay, there have a mention. Okay, uh, it will be given maybe output. So let's go the for explaining const variable. So in programming, const short for constant. Okay, is a keyword used to declare a variable whose value cannot be reassigned after is initially set. Okay, once you give a const variable a value, it is a block logged in for the rest of the program. There is clear breakdown of how it works using JavaScript as the primary example. Through the concept is similar in JavaScript and other programming language, for example C++. That is there is. Okay, the three golden rules of const. First is must be initialized immediately. You can't declare a const without giving us a value of JavaScript. Const is, for example, const is equal to 25 correct. If you don't initialize, it will be give the error. Okay, right? And second thing is second golden rule is it can't be reason. If you try to change its value later, the program will throw the error. JavaScript. So the we will give one instruction for that using const. Okay, so for example, const tax rate is equal to 0.5. It will have one example. We want to reassign again that tax rate is equal to 0.08. It will be give the error because of I already said ki we can't reassign that initialize. We have to must that initialize if you write that. Okay, third one is it is block scope. It's only exists within the curly braces. where it was created. Okay, so it is the feature of const. And I'm now telling about arrow function. Okay, so I'm asking what is arrow function. Okay, so the guys, let's see our code, sorry, output. An arrow function is a shorter and more modern way to write function in JavaScript. Was introduced in ECMAScript 2015 and used the fat arrow. And syntax here is clear breakdown of it was how work it and why it is used. Okay, first one is syntax comparison. Arrow function allowed you to write less code. It is a very short example code. Regular function. How do we declare regular function? JavaScript const add function for inside the we write a comma b. It is a parameter. We can sorry. We want to output if uh, we want to output, so we can write return a plus b. It will give the output. It is regular function. So the arrow function is in JavaScript const add is equal to uh, parenthesis a comma b is equal to arrow a plus b. It will give the directly answer. Key feature of arrow function: shorter syntax. No function keyword. You don't need to write to the word function. Implicit return. If the function has only a line of code, you can omit the curly braces. And return keyword, it will automatically return the value like is the add example above. Okay, so next, parenthesis rules. If there is no one parenthesis parameter, you can omit the parenthesis. uh, x is the x is equal to uh, arrow and x multiplied 2. It will give the output above from that instruction. If here there are zero or multiple parameters, you must use parenthesis uh, is equal to and arrow. Okay, console log high we can do. Okay, and third feature is no binding of his this lexical this. In regular JavaScript function, the keyword this change depending on how the function is called. Okay, the function do not have their own this. Instead, the inherit this from the surrounding the code lexical scope. This make them incredibly useful for the things timers, set interval, or event listener, where you want to keep the context of the parent object. That is arrow function. Okay, while arrow function are great, you should not use them in these scenarios as the object method, since arrow function don't have their own this. Using them as a method inside an object will cause this to point to the global window object instead of the local object. As a constructor, you can't use the new keyword with arrow function when you need the argument object. Arrow function do not have the built-in argument array like to object. Okay, so the summary is an arrow function is a concise syntax for writing JavaScript function that lexically bind that is value, making code clear and easy to read. Okay, that is arrow function.